The main problem with The Brutalist is it kept climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and then it left you with nothing. So I finally watched The Brutalist. It is 3.5 hours long. It stars Adrian Brody. It's directed by Brady Corbet, I'm assuming his name is. And it's basically about an architect who flees from Europe post World War II, who is Jewish and kind of escapes the Holocaust. And he moves to America to rebuild his life. He brings his wife and he tries to continue being the visionary architect that he is. This movie is divided up into Act 1. I believe there's a prologue, actually. Prologue, Act 1, intermission, Act 2, epilogue. Act 1, beautiful, stunning, breathtaking. Act 2, the first half, good. Second half, okay, not really sure where we're going. Epilogue, and it was just like, I can see that this movie is going to win Best Picture. And I can see so many people bigging it up and saying how great it is. But it honestly, the ending is just so clumsily done. And while I am nitpicking, it's just something that doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not the only person it doesn't sit right with. Other people also feel this. This one person on Letterboxd says, it's difficult to articulate why this didn't fully work for me. The performances and direction were solid, but the story felt like a rather stock deconstruction of the American dream. One that rarely surprised or engaged me. I'll take this over an Amelia Perez win in any category, however. I think we all can agree that any movie that wins, whether you dislike it or not, as long as it beats out Amelia Perez, it's a dub. Someone else said, there's nothing really new here, but it's very well done and looks stunning. Part 1 is better than Part 2, which I said, and Adrian Brody and Guy Pearce are acting down. Really beautiful 70mm print. And that's the thing. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful movie, and you understand where we're going. You're understanding the story of how immigrants are often disillusioned with the American dream. And I want to say that immigrants have a very, very different notion of the American dream than Americans do. America is the great hope. You're going to get to America and your life is going to change for the better. This country is made of immigrants, and everybody here is going to thrive no matter what, because it's the American way. There's something about this movie that I just can't fully get with. There's something about this movie that just, it doesn't scratch the itch. It's a beautiful movie. The story is compelling. The actors are acting their asses off. Adrian Brody definitely is going to get Best Actor. Guy Pearce should get Best Supporting Actor, but the ending where it gets put together clumsily. Now that you've sat here for 2.5 hours, the last 30 minutes feels like some attempt at putting all the pieces together so you feel like you walked away with a lesson. Instead of just giving you an adequate ending, you get this monologue of what the movie was about, which kind of cheapens what you just watched. And maybe that's the point, but I don't really get the catharsis from that. This one person on Twitter said, I like the parallel endings of Oppenheimer and The Brutalist, showing Oppie and Toth in their old age being celebrated for their work under the guise of it making others feel better about themselves versus redemption for the obsessive journeys. And maybe that is the point. While I think that Oppenheimer packaged it a lot better, I feel like The Brutalist put it together sloppily and then said, okay, well, I'm just going to add this epilogue so as to put a bow on it and to make it pretty for us, as if we weren't going to see through the bow and say, well, no, that was put together pretty sloppily, and I don't think it was worth sitting through 2.5 hours of all this story and getting so connected to this character just to get that bow thrown on everything I just watched. I have a pretty good notion that it's going to win Best Picture. I still have one more Best Picture to watch. I have a pretty good notion that it's going to win Best Picture because of the grandeur of it all, but it definitely feels like American exploitation dumbed down for a first grader. All of that being said, I did rate this movie a 4.5 because I think the components are there. I think all of the components are there. It just could have gotten strung together a lot more beautifully with a screenwriter who could have, this feels like it just needs a screenwriter to juice it up. It needs a ghostwriter to juice it up. That's all it needs. But everything else is perfect. And because of that, I am going to give this movie a 4.5 stars. I still have one more movie to watch in my Best Picture nominees. I still have to watch I'm Still Here, and then I'm gonna rank all my Best Picture nominees. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. Make sure you guys follow me on Letterboxd, and we're the Oscars are around the corner. The Oscars are around the corner, gang, and I'm getting scared. I'm getting concerned because after watching The Brutalist and after watching how people are interacting with The Brutalist, I think it's gonna take the cake. And I'm still right now, I will say, I think I'm still on the Conclave train. If not the Conclave train, the Dune Part 2 train. I think the Brutalist train has left the station for me. But I hope Adrian Brody gets that Best Actor because he ate. If not Adrian Brody, give it to Coleman Domingo. But we're not going to get into all that. We're going to see. We're going to get there. I will see you guys next time. Bye.